At this time, we'll call to order the City of Shamokin Council meeting, September 18th, 2023. Please rise for a pledge to the flag and remain standing for a moment of silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Okay, at this time we'll do roll call.
Councilwoman O'Brien.
Here.
Councilwoman Shamokin. Here. Councilwoman Moyer. Here. Mayor Hall.
Here.
Board President, one absent.
Thank you. At this time, we have a presentation to be done by the EDA. Sarah, or Kathy, if you'd like to please introduce our guest.
And then we're gonna use the wall behind you guys to present. So unless you wanna be blinded.
Blinded by the light, sir.
Amen. Can you hit the light? Thanks.
Thank you all for your time. In the spring, when Illumination Station was first opened, it was thought, what a great opportunity for the city. And the Economic Development Authority reached out to SLAY, who had, and she can introduce what all SLAY stands for, but they had some interns from SHEP. Shepherd Higher Education Consortium. On poverty, thank you. And the SHEP interns really started to look into opportunities to utilize Illumination Station, because as we all know, if it's vacant, if it's not used, it's going to be ruined and things like that. So we really want to take advantage of that. And I would like to introduce Paige Martineau and Lauren Hopkins from SLAY, the Susquehanna Legal Aid for Adults. Now that I see it. And they're going to do a presentation.
Thank you, Kathy. So I am Paige Martineau. I am an attorney with SLAY, Susquehanna Legal Aid for Adults and Youth. We have a location in Williamsport, but we are hoping to open our second location in Shamokin. We currently work here in Shamokin out of the Housing Authority, so we're very grateful to the City of Shamokin Housing Authority for offering us space to serve their residents. And as Kathy mentioned, the EDA reached out to us when they learned that we had these interns with SHEP who are full-time summer interns. And these interns created this research, which we just handed out and which we also have electronically. We try to look at how other communities have utilized parks such as Illumination Station. And one of those interns, Lauren Hopkins, has remained with us. And she's shown a dedication to Shamokin. So what we'd like to do today is share that research with you open up a dialogue to get feedback, and share a possible proposal for an event with lots of room for adjustments as the council would like. And go ahead, Lauren.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure if anyone could see me, but as long as everyone can hear me, that's all that matters.
Okay.
So here we have our research on illumination station. So just for a brief introduction, I wanted to make some key points and outline them to keep in the back of our minds. So as Shamokin continues to pursue revitalization, it's crucial to open up recreational spaces. And throughout this research, we found that hosting events at the Illumination Station Park would work to unite the citizens of Shamokin and contribute to the revitalization efforts. And when you host community events, there's a higher likelihood that participants will then go and engage in economic activity. So events such as movies in the park, art in the park, if we were to display teacher appreciation and others similar to that, would continue to promote family values and establish a better public relationship between the residents of North Central Pennsylvania and the city of Shamokin. So one of our first examples is Montpelier, Vermont, and if everyone can see the pictures, they show some of the artwork that was displayed there from community members and students. They found that this was really it was beneficial for everyone involved because it got people out into the city while also creating an attraction for other people to come out. So whether it's parents, teachers, students, friends, if you have grandparents or family that live in surrounding areas, you're more likely to see a return on investment of a lot of more people visiting through attractions like this and getting people to really care and have a stake in their community as well. So some of the research we've done explains that partnering with local organizations, brands, and vendors can actually promote the event while increasing profits. So we contacted, like Paige mentioned, a list of similar townships with events that have a projector or other screen, and we kind of just got to see how they were able to get people involved. And one of the main parts was using vendors, local organizations, brands, because then you'll be able to have them create an advertisement, whether that be a little commercial on screen or signs around that then promote the brand, but also promote your event. And so there are food trucks, and then we have a food truck event in town that'll get people to come out, spend money. Maybe you'll be able to take 10% of the profit if you have a contract with the vendor, and then go on to promote them for another partnership and events. Then hosting free events is another good way to start an estimate of attendance before hosting costly events. So for example, if we're doing a movie in the park, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to have the attendance to back up, let's say, a licensed movie if you choose to do so, because those do vary in cost based on the attendance because there is a fee. So starting up events slower and being able to gauge attendance is actually going to be more valuable. And later on in our proposal, you'll see how we put that into work. And then moreover, social media such as the Facebook page or a website would also help to advertise the event and track how many are interested. Now, I know Shamokin already has a website, and we can figure out how to incorporate that, as well as Facebook pages. I was also part of the effort to create a TikTok page for Illumination Station so that we can better advertise this, engage a different audience, if we're wanting to target people across all demographics to come to the event and promote the family values that I discussed earlier. We want to be able to make sure that we reach all different ages. So having the Facebook for parents, grandparents, etc., having a website for others who just like to check what's going on in Shamokin, and then moving on to social media like TikTok or Instagram that the younger generation will be on. High schoolers, elementary students of those nature will be able to see, hey, this is going on, maybe I want to go out with my friends, that type of thing. So you'll actually be able to then track how many people are viewing the site and see, based off of that, how many people, if you get a good idea, will come to the event. But now we have our exact proposal, Paige can elaborate
So this is a proposal we thought we would put together, a specific proposal for feedback and input, but we recognize that there are a lot of things that the council would have suggestions on in terms of data, things like that. We selected one Saturday and one Friday in October, both of which are away football games. So the Friday night, October 20th is an away Shamokin game, and the 28th is an away Penn State game. We proposed October 28th because it could occur right after the food truck frenzy. And again, that's an away game for PSU. The sun sets on October 28th at about 6:10 p.m. So if we were to have vendors set up and available from approximately 5 to 6:10, we could then start showing the school children's pictures and the Shamokin season. And once it was dark enough, we would propose to play Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz is one of several movies which are in the public domain. You can see a list of other ones in the packet that we handed out on the 8th page of that. So there's quite a few movies in the public domain. And it's nice to start with a movie in the public domain because if you go with a licensed movie, you need to pay a licensing fee, select a specific date, and obtain permission for rain dates, and it's paid based on attendance. So we thought that the best idea would be to start with a movie in the public domain, and The Wizard of Oz seemed like a good choice for a Halloween style movie. We would plan whichever date was selected to set up the projector 1 week ahead of time so that we could start showing video without audio to get people interested. So this would be scenes of Shamokin history, which would be projected. And as people stop in the park, we would have physical signage, illuminated signage, announcing the grand opening. We would, because of the space, we would think to focus first on arts and crafts vendors, but we would also seek out sponsors who might be able to provide seating, for instance, restaurants that have outdoor seating and things along that nature. We would reach out to the elementary schools and see if they could submit one piece of artwork per child that was spooky and put that together in a slideshow to show. And we would reach out to local artists. So for instance, we worked with an individual at the high rise down here in Shamokin through the Housing Authority. And some of these folks create beautiful decorations. And so we would see if one of them wanted to decorate the area for free with a harvest theme. We would do social media. So we have worked on a TikTok for Go Shamokin. So we would create a TikTok and Facebook posts. And we would promote the event in that way. We would do a press release to the daily item, North Central PA, and the news item, along with any other suggestions that you all had, both highlighting our local artists who were to be decorating vendors and also the event itself. So that is what we would propose for the beginning of Illumination Station. And then based on that event, we would try to hold events on a monthly basis. It probably would not be movies each month as the winter months go on, but it would be something else. But this would be an opportunity for us to gauge interest, make sure the audio and video was set up, and make sure that people knew that we were interested in the park and engaged and ready to showcase it for the community. So that's all I have in terms of our specific proposal. I'll let Lauren jump in if there's anything that I have missed. And it looks like there's not. So that is our proposal and that is our research. We would love for everyone to take time if they'd like to go over the additional examples that we have provided and let us know what you think would fit Shamokin best. And I'd also be happy to take any questions at this time.
Is that it for your presentation?
Yes, that is it for our presentation. So if there are any questions or clarifications, I'll stick around though if you think of any, and I'd be happy to discuss after the meeting.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, EPA.
Kelly, is there anything you want to add to?
No, I think that they covered it well. They the chef interns, including Lauren, did a great job of really researching other cities that had the projector and things like that, right? So to really take advantage of that space, we welcome the partnership, and they've been great to work with. So
Well, thank you again.
Thank you very much for your time. We've been thrilled to spend our time here in Shamokin.
Great. Look forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, do we have any acknowledgements? Any bids? Any correspondence? Citizens' comment contingent upon business listed on the agenda.
Citizens' comments?
Or on the agenda.
Oh, for the agenda, I'm not on the agenda, I'm sorry.
Hi, Joe Lashinsky, 518 East Pine Street. My question's in the solicitor's report. There's a request of motion to repeal ordinance 2304 for submitting the government study commission question to the electors. I know that's been changed a couple times. I think it was 2302 and then 03, now 04. So then I know that there was 5 people who submitted a petition. So what does that do for that? And then also a question of number 2, first reading of ordinance 2305, home rule charter question. See, that's like the same thing that was done with 02, 03, 04, 05, just as it reads. Unless.
Could I answer that?
Yeah, sure.
The first reading of ordinance 2305, they're kind of out of order, should be switched, but the proposed ordinance would be repealing 2304. What it is taking the, asking the Board of Election to take it off the ballot.
Can I just ask, for the last 6 months, there was a battle over this, and now why are we changing our mind? Is there a, now I guess Rick and I can ask, I know Bob's not here, but now I guess I can ask then, all right, now what's plan B?
I'll take that one. One, as you said, there was only 5 people on the ballot. We should have had 7. So 1, we didn't have the criteria for it. 2, we found there was a great deal of lack of interest in this. So really, we kind of felt, speaking with that 47, it was gonna, I guess a better way to say it, waste a lot of time and possibly some money. So that's why we decided to repeal it.
To put it on the agenda,
Yeah.
to potentially do it.
So then is there working on a plan to try to include that, or try to close up some of that deficit? That's something that don't have to be answered now, but.
I know I had a special, or the meeting that we had with them. It was pretty lengthy, this week, and yeah, there were some ideas brought up.
I also have a couple ideas that if anybody, Rick or any of you would like to meet, I think I see from even in my time that I was here, and over the last couple of months, looking over some things with the tax season that came out. I think there's a big thing that you guys are missing.
Well, you know what, we can meet because we need to talk on that other issue,
Okay,
all right?
and if the city needs any help or any boards or committees, I'm willing to volunteer.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. I request a motion to accept the minutes of the City of Shamokin Council meeting on August 14th, 2023, the regular council meeting.
Second.
Anything on the question?
Councilman Rubrik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shamokin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Moyer,
Yes.
Mayor Oliver,
Yes.
4 yeas,
I make a motion to approve the bills from August 2023 as listed on the bill list.
So moved, ma'am. Second.
Anything on the question?
Councilman Milburn,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Warner,
Yes.
Mayor Art,
Yes. Under directors' reports, accounts and finance. Oh, geez, I'm sorry. All right, neither one are yours, so, all right, I'm sorry. Parks and public buildings.
Just a few things, Mayor. First of all, I would like to add to everybody's voices and, acknowledge the passing of Larry Strasser. The community certainly came together and gave him his due, most of which he probably would have hated. He was a very modest man, but I certainly, know, we all know this from personal experience. Now comes the hard part, the missing of Larry on a day in and day out basis. We all rose to the occasion of his passing, but I personally will so miss seeing Larry around City Hall, at the pool. I've been to the pool several times since. It's very difficult to walk in there and not see Larry there, very tough. But along with that, and I'm sure you've seen this already in, the proposals that we have on the agenda is a proposal to change the name, which has stood for 50-some years. I don't have in my head exactly the number of years. From the Schroer Memorial Pool to the Schroer-Strasser Memorial Pool. And that suggestion has been met with total support all the way around. So I just want to add my voice to that. I also would like to commend the staff at the pool and all of the volunteers who helped us get through these past few weeks. So it's been so important, and they have just totally risen to the occasion. I thank all of them so much. I also want to acknowledge the 9/11 ceremony. Mike Duganis and Craig Rhodes, it was a fantastic job. I don't think Shamokin could have done a better job. And I extend my sincere thanks to you. It was a wonderful acknowledgement and ceremony of a very important, significant event. I'd also like to mention one more thing. I don't know, some of you may be aware that our last Music in the Park concert, which was last evening, unfortunately had to be canceled. Our weather did not cooperate. That happened to us a few times throughout the season. It's always a hard call, but it was the right call. I just want to really add my comments to the effort, the time for the volunteers over there, and especially Dave Spots, who has just worked for 10 years to put together a great concert series. It's a lot of work. And hopefully, season 11 is just around the corner. So I look forward to your support. I think that's all I have. Right.
Thank you. Streets and public improvements.
I just wanted to thank Mike Gaddis for the 9/11 memorial as well. It was very nice, and I want to thank the guys from the street department for helping get everything up together and having everything set up. Very good job, all the way around. That's it.
Public safety.
Mayor, I don't have the reports from the fire department, but from the code side, our rental revenue was $575. Parking permits, $1,920. Other permits were $6,666.50. For a total revenue collected from the code department was $9,161.50. They addressed 149 complaints, sent out 104 notices of violation, wrote 49 citations, completed 4 landlord inspections. Posted 4 of our properties unfit for human habitation, and assisted in 7 fire calls. And also wrote out 18 warnings. So once again, our code office has had a very, very busy month. I still, and as every other month, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we really need to find some help for our code department. If anybody's attended or heard the minutes of our Fight the Blight task force meetings, that's the #1 subject. We need more help in the code department. Now, I'd like to also address, I see Mr. Help me out. I know your last name and I can't think of it.
Keel.
Mr. Keel, that's what I was trying to, I knew it and I just couldn't think of it, I apologize. I get that once in a while, I think my brain's starting. But Mr. Keel, I know that you're having some issues up there with some blighted properties. I'd also like to invite you, if you would like, we have a blight task force meeting once a month. It's held right here in this room in City Hall, the first Tuesday of every month. The next meeting that we're having will be Tuesday, October the 3rd at 6 o'clock, right here in this meeting, or in this meeting room. If you would care to attend, I'm sure we'd like to hear from you at the Blight Task Force meeting, and that's part of our goal and our purpose at these Blight Task Force meetings, to take care of issues and situations like yours. And I think your input there would certainly be very, very well welcomed.
Thank you.
And we'd like to see if you could attend. We'd sure appreciate it.
I'll be there.
Okay, thank you. And one other thing, and again, for my, and I agree, Larry was not only a co-worker, city employee, but he was also a personal friend of mine and my family's. And I don't know if this is out of line to ask, Mayor, is it any way possible to read number 9 of the new business separately from the other 8? I would just like to hear that and have that recorded and have the vote recorded as the vote for that particular person. And if we could just read number 9 separately from the rest,
That was my idea.
I would appreciate that. We'll see that.
Great minds.
Great minds think alike. Yeah.
Right side.
Okay, so that's all I have.
All right. Controller, Mr. Kinder.
I have nothing from their council, but I'd also like to let everyone know that the treasurer's report is not ready today simply because Brenda is on vacation, but we'll have both for next month, which we can have one in the
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Recycle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One thing at the end of the meeting, I asked for a very, very short executive session. It's going to be reference to operations of the department. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, for the month of August, the department did 2 juvenile petitions, 49 criminal arrests, 16 non-traffic citations, 50 traffic citations, 2 issued warnings, 331 parking tickets, 235 sweeper tickets, 15 code tickets, for a total haul of 1,591, with miles patrolled at 4,098. In reference to code, we were at the last meeting. Councilman Mulbrand's aware of it. Officer Busco has stepped forward, sort of like what Corporal Miranda did in the past. He has been working very closely with our code officer, and I'm hoping it's getting a little better, but the information that we were able to provide at the Blight meeting was great because we have a good working relationship with that. So that's something we'll work on. Also, I believe they removed 3 more abandoned vehicles during the last 2 weeks. Other than that, that's all I have.
All right, well, thank you. All right, on to new business. Can I get a motion for item 1 through 8?
So moved.
Second.
Anything on the question?
Councilman Mowbray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Krasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Moyer,
Yes.
Mayor Albert.
Yes. Okay, item number 9 on new business. We request a motion to rename the Lockenscheuer Memorial Swimming Pool to the Schroyer Strasser Memorial Swimming Pool.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Anything on the question?
Councilman Mowbray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Krasinski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Moyer,
Yes.
Mayor Albert.
Yes. Anything under unfinished business? Boards and committees. At this time, we'll have the solicitor's report.
Thank you, Mayor. As Mr. Milbrand indicated about the blight task force meeting, he did request, and I did attend the blight task force meeting in September. I plan on attending the October meeting, and we'll see how that goes moving forward. So I thought it was a very good meeting. The individuals that are attending are very well informed, very driven group. I think working together in conjunction with the tools we have, I think, is using Ray's assistance and his officer, I think, we're going to make some progress in fighting the blight in the city. So I just wanted to say I was happy to be there, and I do plan on attending.
Thank you.
Moving on from that, the numbers are actually out of order, but reading number 2, a first reading of ordinance 23-05, a home rule charter question. What this is going to do is repeal the ordinance 2304, which authorized the Northumberland County Board of Elections. I'll read the first reading. So ordinance number 23-05, an ordinance of the City of Shamokin, Northumberland County, Pennsylvania, revoking ordinance number 2023-04, which did authorize the Northumberland County Board of Elections to submit to the electors of the City of Shamokin the question of electing Government Study Commission at the November 7th, 2023 general election. Whereas the governing body of the City of Shamokin desires to revoke its ordinance number 202304, which authorized the Northumberland County Board of Elections to submit a question to the city's electors on whether to form a government study commission. Now therefore be ordained and enacted by City Council of the City of Shamokin, County of Northumberland, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania as follows. City Council revokes its ordinance number 202304, which authorized the Northumberland County Board of Elections to place the question before the electors of the city at the November 7th general election. This ordinance specifically repeals 2304 and would become effective as provided by the city code. So then going back to what is listed as number 1, since that was the first reading, but there would need to be a motion to repeal ordinance 2304 as the 2305 ordinance.
So.
Second.
Anything on the question?
Councilman Mowbray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Krasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Moyer,
Yes.
Mayor Albert.
Yes.
In light of the fact that the first reading of this ordinance was approved, we're going to need a special meeting timely to get this on the second reading reportedly approved, because County Board of Elections is holding off submitting the ballot based on this. So time is of the essence, so we will, it's 10, yeah, but we have to see when it's going to be advertised, so we'll have to coordinate that tomorrow with Mr. Slavy in a news item. So we are going to need a special meeting, so a motion for a special meeting for general purposes. We need to be held. So is there a motion for a special meeting?
So,
The date, for the date and time to be announced and advertised.
Anything on the question?
Councilman O'Brien,
yes,
Councilwoman Waschinsky,
Yes,
Councilman Moyer,
Yes, am I voting on the date?
Well, to have a special meeting, I said the date and time to be coordinated, because we have to contact the news item, making sure we know what date it's gonna be in, and then having a meeting, so it's just for the special meeting.
Mayor Albert,
Yes.
I have nothing further, if anyone has any questions for me.
Okay, at this time, are there any citizens' comments? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Megan Beck, and I'm running for county commissioner, and I've been traveling around to different municipalities and townships to get to know people that are in the communities and the challenges they're facing, so we can chat now, or if anybody wants to see me after the meeting, I'd be glad to chat with them, get to know you in person, and I'd love to hear, how I might be able to help. I have a lot of experience in revitalization efforts and things like that, so I have a huge passion for that, so I understand where you're at. I've been in Sunbury doing these kind of efforts for a long time, so
Okay. All right, well, thank you for coming now.
gladly, it's a pleasure.
All right. Okay, do we have any announcements? All right, at this time, I'll ask for a motion
But
to.
we are going into
Oh, wait.
executive session.
Okay, I'm
But
sorry.
no action will be coming out.
No,
No. And it's personnel
operations.
operation. All right, then I'll leave and we'll have the executive session on the operation. Yeah.